Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of We Love to Camp. Today is going to be going over a list. Now you got yourself a travel trailer, a camper. Congratulations. It's empty. There's nothing in it, and you need all kinds of supplies before you go camping. Some people tell you you need this much, some people tell you you need this much. It's closer to that than it is to that. So stay tuned. I'm Andy. This is We Love to Camp. We'll be back in just a second. Thanks for coming back. You see the new We Love to Camp worldwide headquarters. It's my basement. And let me show you around. There you go. My desk is going to go right there. And then that table is going to be a corner desk table, whatever. That's good because I'll have all kinds of room for all my stuff and it'll be great and quiet. So like I said, we're going to go over some of the stuff that you're going to need when you go camping. You get your new trailer, it has nothing in it. Maybe they'll throw in a roll of toilet paper, right? So I've got a list of things right here behind me that I came up with, and I feel it's a fairly accurate list. Now, the reality is this is going to be a 2, maybe even a 3-part mini-series, if you will. I don't like making my videos longer than 20, maybe 30 minutes. And you can see, even without being able to read it, you can see that this is a rather long list. So I'm breaking it up into a couple of different lists. Today we're going over what you need inside. We're not going over the stuff that you need for the rig. We're not going over the stuff that you need outside, like your camping chairs. And we're not even touching the supplies list. I mean, look at this. That's a whole lot of stuff. You thought you were done spending money. You're not. I've tried to keep it cheap. I've tried to keep it condensed. And we'll go over where I think you can cut some corners. I tried to keep it short. It's a little short. But I'll point out where you can save money by taking stuff out of the house, like out of the basement, and maybe going to a secondhand shop, Goodwill type, if you will. I'm going to use that term generically. Forgive the shadows and everything. This is a basement. I had to turn off this fluorescent light right here because it was just blinding the entire screen. And now I got 2 lights on over there and 1 over there. And except for this big, ugly shadow of me, it actually works. So anyways, stuff that you obviously need. You're going to need dishes and glasses and silverware. You can get around that a little bit, but you're going to end up needing it. However, dishes and glasses, you've got extra stuff in the cabinet at home, in the kitchen. And again, how much do you actually need? How many people are in the family? How many people are going camping? 3, 4 people? That's all you need. 4 plates, 4 bowls, 4 spoons, 4 forks. I'm going to put those down as on hand. Silverware. You could go and get some plastic flatware, or you can go to Goodwill and get some used silverware. I say don't go to Walmart and get the cheap silverware because the stuff bends when you use it. I've literally used a fork, and when I pushed down into my steak, it literally bent. So just forget about the cheap stuff from Walmart when it comes to this. Silver, we're going to go to Goodwill. GW for Goodwill. Pots, pans, colander. You may have extras. You may need to go to the store. You can check Goodwill. They usually have pots and pans real cheap. I'm going to put down on hand because most of us have extras. And again, you only need 1 small skillet. You only need 1 pot. You only need 1 colander. That's especially just to get started in your first couple of trips. And you slowly redo your stock as you go. Cooking utensils. I'm going to put Walmart. Go ahead and get some new ones. Can opener. Not the electric can opener. Not that little stupid thing that's on a keychain that MacGyver uses. No, get yourself one of the old handles that go like this and the big handle that you twist. Don't fail to get a can opener because you will need it. And you won't have a whole lot of second options when you're out there except for bothering the neighbors. Can opener, Walmart. And once you get a good one, it'll be the last one you ever buy. Bedding. I'm going to put this down as all three. You need your bedding. You need a couple pillows. You need sheets. You need fitted sheets. You need a comforter or blanket or whatever. And you need this for every bed that you have. The kid, the other kid, the kid's friend, whatever. You and the wife, you and the husband, you and the dog, whatever. But bedding, you don't want to get used sheets. I don't. I'll do some nasty stuff, but I don't want used sheets. So you're going to Walmart for the sheets. Your pillowcases, your sheets. You probably have extra pillows. If not, go to Walmart and get some new ones. On hand, that's where, yeah, you might have an extra blanket. You might have an extra quilt. And Goodwill is if you don't have any extra quilts. I wouldn't have a problem with using a top blanket, top comforter from Goodwill. Sometimes they have really nice deals on nice stuff. Not always. Key hooks. This is something that you'll want to get online. We'll go with Amazon on this one. And it doesn't have to be key hooks, but you need to be organized enough to where you know where your keys go. If you have a little bowl on the counter that your keys always go in there with your wallet, that's fine. But you got to be organized because you're going to find out in a camper you're just going to be moving stuff. You hoard junk from this area over to that area. And then when you need to work on that area, you're going to move it over to that area. You need to have a safe place for your keys. That's both for your truck and for the camper door. The dish drying rack, whatever they call it. Go ahead and get a camping one. They're usually considerably smaller, and they fit on the small counters a lot better. We'll call that, again, generically, Camping World. Camping World, Amazon. I've already shown you guys this before, and it is outdated. Quite a bit outdated. But you get in here, you find what you need, and then you get on Amazon and find it cheaper. Or you go to your mom and pop camper store and buy local. Then you're buying local and you're supporting small businesses. Mom and pops needed a whole lot more than these guys do, especially if you have a struggling mom and pop place. We have a place here in town that I really like. They're a bit expensive, but they're new, and I think they're struggling. I haven't seen any campers come off their lot in a while. So laundry baskets, yeah, you got that on hand. You've always got at least one extra. You're not going to find room in the camper for it anyways. A laundry bag. If you're a veteran, you probably know what I'm talking about. We had these green laundry bags. They were great. And it fits in corners where a laundry basket won't fit. Broom and a mop. You've got one in the basement. So I'm going to put on hand. Even if you don't have them in the basement, you've got an extra one. And, you know, you can take them up, just throw it in the camper and bring it back out. You don't need a new vacuum cleaner for when you're starting out. Unless you got golden retrievers, then you do definitely need a vacuum cleaner. Trash can, you probably got one in the basement. If not, Amazon. Now, first aid kit. This is very important. You're going to be out in the woods. You're going to be swimming. You're going to be out riding bicycles or even driving a golf cart around the campgrounds. Accidents happen. Accidents happen a lot out in the campgrounds when you're not paying attention, especially the kids. Kids riding a bike, skid, get road rash all up and down their arm and leg, and it's got gravel all up in it. So you definitely need a first aid kit. Don't leave home without it when you're camping in a travel trailer. This is one of the most important things, honestly. You want to get it new, obviously. And my wife would probably say get it on Amazon. I don't know. I like looking at things before I buy them when there's something like that. So whatever. Just get a new one and keep it stocked. Hold on. I forgot the most important thing. A notepad and a pen. You're going to need that for more than just your shopping list. Sponge and dish soap. You're going to have dish soap on hand because you're going to need it for cleaning the tanks. We'll get to that later, but you're going to have these on hand. You probably have an extra sponge in the cabinet underneath the sink. Some of this stuff you can sneak into the family budget instead of going out and just buying all this at once. But like, you go to the grocery store the day before you go get your camper, get yourself a sponge and some dish soap. Get yourself a can opener. Get some, whatever. A small trash can. Get the stuff slowly before you even have the camper. And you're still spending the same amount of money, but it feels like you're getting away a lot cheaper. You do all this at once, you're going to feel violated. Okay. Mentioned this the other day on your toolkit. You're going to need a flashlight. You're going to need a headlight. One or the other. I'm going to just Walmart, whatever. Walmart. Or on, what I go, AM for Amazon? Yes. Amazon. Rain gear. Never mind my handwriting. That's a AIN. So rain gear, you will need this. For the first 2 years that we camped, it rained every single time we went camping. Yes, you will need rain gear. I have an old poncho, again, an old military issue poncho, and a pair of boots from Walmart. They're underneath the couch. I haven't used them in a couple years, but they're there. I don't have to worry about looking for them. I know exactly where they are. Let's see, rain gear from wherever. I'm going to say Walmart. You want to try them on first. Condiment packets. This is something, especially at the beginning, cutting corners to save costs. Get some mustard packets and some ketchup packets when you go to a fast food joint. Go inside to get it, even if you're on the road. Go inside to get it and just grab a couple extra packets. Or even in the drive-thru. Ask them, throw in some extra packets. We love the ketchup. And here's some that we saw at a skating rink when we took our son to the skating rink the other day. They're everywhere. Don't expect them to last forever. Refrigerate them and don't keep them through the winter and expect to use them next year. They've got a limited lifespan and they don't have it marked on the packet. So free condiment packets. Or again, when you're at the grocery store, you can go and get the smaller bottles and just run with those. Always get the small bottles for camping because they go bad when you come back in the spring. They're expired and you don't realize it. Bad weather entertainment. This is the short list. You're going to want TV. You're going to want a Blu-ray player. And towels. Get the towels from the inside the house. You'll need the towels. They should be over here, but you'll need the towels. Again, how many people are in the camper? 3? Get 3 towels. You're only going to be gone for a weekend. But if you got little ones, this is no longer a want. This will be a need. Over here, this one's interesting. Listen to me now and believe me later. Some of this seems a little, you don't need it, but you probably will. When you first got in your camper at the dealership, you laid down on the bed and said, this is a little stiff, it's a little bit firm, but it'll do. And if you're coming from a tent or a pop-out, older pop-out, you say, this is nice, this is soft. It's not. You're going to hurt in the morning. Memory foam mattress pad. We got a 4-inch one off of Amazon for I don't know how much. Some things wife won't let me know how much she pays for. So El Presidente bought that, and I had to trim it because the beds are always a short queen. It's never a full-size queen unless you get a really upper-end camper. Dog crate, that's pretty important if you have a dog. If you got a younger dog or a hyper dog, you'll want to crate them up when you guys go somewhere. It's way too easy for a dog to go nuts and tear up the camper. They're in a place that they're unfamiliar with, so they're already on edge. There's all kinds of noises outside of the camper, and they're going to hear that and go crazy, barking at kids. They're going to tear up the blinds, getting up on the couch and looking out the window and barking at those kids next door. You know, we've seen the pictures of that dog that dug his way through the door. That was real. I think I put that on a video a couple videos ago, maybe 2 or 3 videos ago. That can happen. Obviously, it happened. So you'll want to... Some people think it's mean, but it is a dog safe space. It is to protect the dog as much as it is to protect your stuff. And then you'll also want to turn on the TV whenever you go somewhere to give the dog something to focus on and to drown out the kids. Moving on, a space heater. We told you a couple episodes why this is so important. If you're starting off the beginning of the summer, you can put it off. But as soon as you get into your September camping or your Halloween camping, you will want to have it on hand. I prefer the oil-filled radiators personally. They're very slow to react, but they are the lowest on fire risk. There's no open elements to burn anything. It's just hot. And to help heat up quicker, you can put that little fan, that little battery-powered fan that I showed you on the last episode, the one that's melted. You put that behind the radiator and blow the heat through, and it increases the amount of heat that gets blown around. You will end up wanting that. You may never need it, but you will want it. Ice maker, ice machine. I don't get it, but it seems like everybody else loves them. They go crazy over them. Put your bottled water in there. Don't put the well water in there. It's too hard to clean those things out, which is another thing. You do need to clean them out frequently because they will start to get nasty inside. So like I was saying, if you spread out the spended, it doesn't hurt so bad. Again, you're still paying $11 billion, but $11 billion spread over a couple months, it's a lot easier than just writing out a check for $11 billion. And we haven't even gotten to the stuff you'll need outside. There's going to be more. So you've got all the stuff from last week, your tools, then you got all this stuff, and like I said, there's going to be more. If you just go here, you're going to spend a lot of money. No, I mean a lot. Some of this stuff is stupid. There was a bedding set at our local camp store, and they wanted, I think, $95. No. Something else you're going to want. You're going to end up needing this. You're going to need some hoodies that you keep in the camper. You're going to need a light zip-up jacket, like a windbreaker, depending on where you live, of course. But even in the middle of July, you're going to have a cold night once in a while. And you get into late August, you'll definitely have a cooler night. You'll be out at the campfire, and you're going to realize, I'm cold. So just go inside, get the hoodie, and everything's fine. Or you can get a small throw blanket and bring it out. That's another good thing to have, throws, which you probably have 4 or 5 of them in the end table beside the couch anyways. So you get that out of the house. Now, if you're a coffee drinker, I recommend getting another K-Cup machine. A coffee pot is a load on the electricity, first of all. A very good way to trip a breaker. Those things take a lot of power. But the coffee pot, it's thin, it's glass, it's fragile, it will break. But if you get a small, cheap K-Cup machine, then your coffee packets, the little K-Cups, they're sealed. They are easily portable. Grab a handful of them out of the basket at the house, put them in the camper before you roll out. There's no pot to clean. It's just a lot more convenient. It's worth the extra money you'd spend at the beginning for every morning that you're making coffee. Unless you like instant coffee, which is even better because you don't need a pot at all. Just your coffee cup and microwave. Now, something else that could be an issue, depending on what you feel is true camping. Some people feel that you have to go out and rough it to go camping. I don't think that. I spent too long roughing it as it was. I go camping and I enjoy myself. No more sleeping on the ground for me. Especially if you have kids, this is going to be important, but you need to be able to try and have a signal. And if you camp in a place that have a signal, you're not going to have Wi-Fi. So if you have a limited internet plan, you might want to look at those numbers. Most of us have unlimited these days, but you will be with no Wi-Fi to hook up to unless you go to McDonald's. You know, the kids are going to be on the phones, playing on games, doing some TikTok videos while they're dancing around in the creek, whatever. And you're going to be updating your status with standing in front, taking selfies in front of whatever. You just need to make sure that you have a way to be able to use these. Don't forget your phone chargers. Keep an extra charger or two in the camper on their own, dedicated. That way you don't forget them. Back to the pen and paper. Obviously, for this application, you're going to need the pen and paper for a list of stuff that you must have next time you go out, like the memory foam or the ice machine. But you're going to have a list of stuff that you're going to go and get in the morning when you go to the store, because you will make a run to the store. Make a run to the dollar store, Dollar General, Family Dollar. They always have those around campgrounds, and they have a lot of stuff in there for you. I always say that your first camping trip, when you go out as new camping family, you need to have a Walmart close by. And as soon as you check in, you ask them, how close is the nearest Walmart? And they'll tell you, because they're used to people asking it. You will end up needing that. But like I said, check the dollar stores first. If you get the Blu-ray player and the TV, make sure you bring some movies for the kids for rainy days. Bring a movie or two for mom and dad. Go to a Redbox locally. But to sum it all up, you're going to spend some money, and it's going to surprise you how much you spend. Try and spread it out. Try and get some from cheaper places. It doesn't matter if you get inferior stuff. How much time are you going to be using the sheets on the bed? 2 or 3 nights, twice a month for 3 months. How many hours is that? That's not a whole lot. So you can start off with all the cheap stuff, and then slowly, when you can't stand the sheets that feel like cast iron, in 6 months you replace that. I've also said, and I'll say again, birthdays and Christmas, all kinds of stuff right there. You get each other all kinds of stuff. But like the list says, this is just the essentials. There's not a whole lot to cut out of that list. And of course, depending on how old the kids are, video games, especially if they have a TV in the bunk room, they're going to love it. Limit their amount of time on there because they're supposed to be out camping, but whatever, your kids, your problem. We're at a stopping point right now, so I'm going to say, hey, do me a favor. Do the like, share, comment, subscribe. Click the bell icon so you know when we go live. But you already know we go live at 3 o'clock on Monday, Eastern time. Those other time zones don't count. I don't even think they're real. Drop comments. Tell me, what did I miss off of this list? What do you think is frivolous on this list? And what do you not want to go to get at the rag store, at the Goodwill store? I'd really appreciate if you guys did some of that. So thanks. So I think that's pretty much going to do it for this episode. We'll let you take a week and catch your breath. Come back next week. We'll cover this list a little bit more. I'm going to put it right there. I'm going to fix the dry erase board. So everybody take it easy. We're halfway through January now. So, hey, we're halfway through January. That's like, 10 weeks, 12 weeks before you can go camping? We're getting there. And if you're in the Midwest, it's not too bad weather so far this winter, except for that one nasty cold snap. And we'll be ready to see you in the campgrounds. So.